especially when it comes to the 90s, I think wanting to murder your husband or wife, I think that's fairly normal. And as we all know, we end up in the end
on a podcast.
That's true.
Isn't it true? Every murder podcast is is the end of a 90s romance.
Well, I hadn't thought of that until now.
Without so many men murdering their wives in the 90s, we wouldn't have podcasts.
See, this is why we're overpopulated now. You know what I mean? If we just take care of business.
We don't want to murder each other anymore. It's like, what are we doing with our lives?
We can't all have a Larry from Pittsburgh. You know that.
God, Larry from Pittsburgh.
Larry the Roofer. The breakout star of Only You.
Oh!
Welcome to the I Hate Critics 1994 podcast. I'm professional film critic Sean Patrick. With me is Amy.
Hi.
And MJ.
Hello.
We watched the 1994 romantic comedy Only You, directed by Norman Jewison and starring Marisa Tomei, Bonnie Hunt, and Larry the Roofer.
Larry the Roofer. And a
I think
special
Robert
appearance
Downey Jr. might be there too.
I was just going to say, special appearance by the way, since Sean likes to talk over everybody, this podcast is brought to you by the Pontiac Fiero, the Fisher Stevens of cars.
Oh.
You're welcome.
So is that why all Fieros smell like Fisher Stevens?
Only when he's doing brown face.
They all Fieros smell like Fisher Stevens looks. You interpret that how you wish.
You know what? It's weird though. You look at him and he's got a special scent to him. He's such an asshole. I just don't like him. I don't know.
No, he's not.
He played Larry the Roofer in this movie. Maybe that's
breakout character.
The breakout character. The actor or the character that the film should have been about.
The guy who gets to cheat on his wife and she forgives him because he showed up in Italy.
Why is that? And that's a trope on its own.
Because we have to affirm all of the values of our audience. We cannot deviate from that. You can't just go to Italy and fall in love with a really handsome dude who's very kind to you and wants to, give you all the sexual pleasure in the world.
Name Giovanni.
You can't have him. You have to go back to Larry and your children because that's what society has asked of you.
I don't think there's anything more depressing than saying I'm going back to Larry in Pittsburgh.
Such a depressing sentence.
Look,
I never
Giovanni.
want to go back to Larry in Pittsburgh.
Look, Giovanni, I know you're super handsome, and you've given me more orgasms in a moment than Larry's ever given me in his entire life.
That's true.
And you drive a Ferrari, and you have beautiful clothes and wonderful eyes. I'm going back to Larry the Roofer.
Larry the Roofer.
So we can live in a 2-bedroom apartment with 4 children.
Oh. But let's just, in defense of Larry, let's face it.
I got
let's
nothing.
defend Larry.
I got nothing.
It's Pittsburgh.
It's Pittsburgh.
I just assume everybody in Pittsburgh is depressed. This is coming from somebody who lives in Iowa. So, Pittsburgh. We just named a city something that's just it's going to upset you.
Literally the pits.
I had a line, but I only forgot what it was. That's fine. So again, I was saying before we did this movie, I was saying I had really positive memories of this because I went with Mom and my best friend Becky. We all went and saw this movie in the theater, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be. I'm so excited. This is gonna be a good one. Finally, after The Crow and Time Fop, we have another good one on our hands, and that wasn't the case at all.
No,
at all.
This is just such a desperately conventional 90s romantic comedy. It has absolutely no innovation. It's just, it's like, this is like an AI movie.
Yeah.
It's like they put the prompts in for an AI romance, and have spat out Italy, Roman holiday, just to hit those beats and,
then move on.
And whatever Norman Jewison decided he wanted to do with Marisa Tomei, I have no idea. She should not have listened to him. She looks ridiculous in this movie. She's gorgeous, but her actions are like just completely off the rails. So the premise is that when she was a child, she and her brother Larry, that's how you have to say it. Yeah. That's the only way to say that name. They were playing with a Ouija board, and somehow she was trying to find her one true love. And she asked the Ouija board for a name, and it spat out the name Damon Bradley. And then later, she went to see a psychic, or whatever they call that lady.
Oh, yeah. Gypsy, which we should never use that word.
That is an offensive term, in case anybody doesn't know.
Right.
The woman, the psychic, tells her the name Damon Bradley, and it underlines the point that this is the man she's meant to be with. We later find out that Larry set that up, that he manipulated the whole thing and never told her. Thanks, Larry. Because everybody in this movie sucks.
That's not true.
Especially Larry.
Oh, no, the guy at the hotel. We'll get to him.
We liked him.
The hotel guy was great.
And I loved Bonnie Hunt, too.
But she was fine sometimes.
Ever watched the same movie as me? Bonnie Hunt's the reason for the season in this movie.
So
again.
So Marisa Tomei is going to marry a podiatrist because this movie is about feet as well. Everything is feet related. Robert Downey Jr. sells shoes for a living.
Yep.
He likes to touch people's feet a little bit too much. For a stranger, he touched people's feet way too often.
There was too much feet in this movie.
The Fate kept trying to tell Faith, the character, so Fate would try and tell her that she's supposed to be with this guy because she keeps stubbing her toe anytime she tries to do something else.
She's wearing the wrong shoes.
Because that's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for picking the wrong guy, you see.
I thought you all picked up on that. Fuzzy had the best line in the entire movie, though, because right at the end, Fuzzy goes, so much feet. What did you say? Did Dan Schneider make?
Schneider?
I'm never going to forget that line. And it was so perfect. Like, the movie is over. And then Fuzzy just like, that's the end. There, you don't even have to say anything else after that. That was perfect.
Well observed.
Well observed. So much feet. So much feet.
So many feet. So many nipples.
Oh, and you know.
Amy hates nipples.
Oh, God. I mean, some people say that the nipple is the nose of the breast, and I don't see that at all. To me, it's like, you don't need nipples. You're fine. And they're yelling at me throughout this entire movie. I don't have time for that.
Would you prefer nippleless people, though? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Nippleless people, I'm fine with. Noseless people, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to look at you. But
the Red Skull catching sprays here.
It's Voldemorting in my head. That's what I'm hearing. Oh, God.
Marisa Tomei is a beautiful woman.
Yes.
Like, gorgeous. It looks incredible. She puts on this white dress late in the movie, and just every scene, just her nipples are her co-star.
And this is not trying to be, like, we're not trying to be gross about it,
no,
but honestly,
but
you know, like how we said, like, you know, Italy's going to be another character in this film. So were her nipples. And I was very, very upset about that.
Every fucking cliche.
See, I didn't really notice the nipples, but like...
How were you done? I mean, I'm supposed to be looking at her breasts.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
You're supposed to.
That's like the masculine dynamic that I have is that I'm attracted, and she has attractive breasts. But after a while, I was going, can somebody just get her a wrap?
Yeah,
or like
light wrap.
A jacket.
I don't think about it because I have seen, or like half of the people I went to school with didn't wear a bra half the time. So it doesn't register in my brain as weird. It's like, I saw that every day.
See, that I think, you know what it is, though? It's me projecting.
You've been groomed for nipples.
The look on Amy's face.
Again, I just want to go home.
I think you are home, aren't you?
No. Home, like, you know, back into the womb where I was. And then just Benjamin Button backwards into heaven. Just stay there. Because I didn't deserve that, what you guys just said. I don't know why you guys hate me so much. But...
so Marisa Tomei is going to marry a podiatrist.
Yeah.
He is like the poster boy for face blindness.
Oh.
Like you can't look at this guy. He could be standing in the room with us right now. We wouldn't know who he was.
Wait. No, I cannot remember for the life of me what he looked like.
John Benjamin Hickey.
That's right. That's right. And I actually had him in my notes. Let's see if I could find... Where are my notes at? Oh, that's right. I said he was like a khaki placemat on an off-white table. And that's how he'll be remembered. I hope that goes on his epitaph. I'm just saying, you know. Oh.
He could not be more boring or uninteresting.
Okay, I want all three of us to close our eyes for a second, okay? Just close your eyes. Trust here. Does anyone remember what he looked like in this movie?
No.
I see a forehead.
He had a lot. He had a lot of forehead.
Forehead.
He had hair.
He had eyes. There was a mouth.
No, or somewhere. Placed gingerly above his nipples, probably. Gingerly. I think he had a mole. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he had a mole somewhere.
I mean, that's about the impression that he makes.
You know what? He went on to do.
If you like put Bill Pullman in a copier and just kept doing it for like a year.
Oh, God! I feel like that's so mean. Oh, Bill Pullman in a copier.
Like a year. You're making a year's worth of copies.
I go back to that Mighty Boosh episode where Vince is just telling Howard, I mean, you're just like a balloon with no features, you know? I just, like, there's nothing there.
Every time you meet John Benjamin Hickey, you introduce yourself to him like you've never met him before.
That's true. You know what?
Hey, it's nice to meet you.
We've met 4 times.
I've been in this family for 25 years.
I've been starring in this movie with you the whole time. That's great, man.
Good for you. Have fun at craft services. Oh, since we're talking about crew, can we talk about the I don't know what
I saw Abraham Lincoln, and then there was a bird off to the side wearing his hat on the TV.
Yeah. There's also a TARDIS in there somewhere.
Okay, so did you have some of that mushroom coffee people are talking about? Is that what that is?
Anyway.
And I forgot what I was going to say, so it's fine.
You were ready to say something about the crew? Perhaps. You'd started in...
Oh, no, I've lost it.
The Italian photography is nice, but let's get to how she gets to Italy. So she's going to marry the podiatrist.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to marry the podiatrist. She gets a random phone call from someone named Damon Bradley saying that he's not coming to the wedding. He's going to Italy. And Damon Bradley, obviously that name resonates with her because that's the boy she was told she was supposed to go for. So she decides to throw everything to the side and fly to Italy to try and find a man she's never met before.
Never seen.
Tell him that they're meant to be in love forever.
That's a plot hole of sorts, though.
Tell us.
What part of that is a hole?
Well, at the end, they're talking about how her brother knew him.
Yeah, so wouldn't Dwayne know? And wouldn't she know who Dwayne was?
They would have had to have met at some point throughout their childhood.
Like,
they couldn't have just...
No, because the brother said
Dwayne.
that... the brother said that, I don't know...
Damon Bradley.
I know Damon Bradley was a guy he knew and played baseball with him, and he didn't like him.
Yeah,
he was an asshole.
Yeah,
maybe the brother. I'm thinking
she probably would have had to go to that baseball game.
Maybe, but
I mean, if he's we all saw the same guy.
Maybe she forgot.
She forgot what he looked like.
Well, yeah, but she would have known that she would have already known him.
It's possible.
She would have been like, dude.
Maybe it was somebody he played against who lived in another town.
That could be it, I suppose.
But then why is he inviting him to his sister's wedding?
Yeah, see, that's why I don't think it's a plot hole. It's a plot
I think it's
chasm.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It's a hole. Yeah.
I do want to say too, maybe we have to give it up to some of our background actors.
Oh, the extras.
The extras on this film were like next level. Every one of them
overacting the entire time.
Oh, like you had the girls, the teenage girls in the beginning who were like, seriously, we just did summer stock. We've done every high school play you can imagine, and we are going to over emote so hard right now.
Like, I don't have a line in this scene, but I need to know what my motivation is.
Yep, exactly. It's like that's you only want to become an actor just to ask what's my motivation. Like that's
now,
yeah.
You are an actor.
Yes.
So do you like if you're playing like an extra role where you're not like the center of the scene? Do you give yourself a backstory?
Only if you have a line. If you don't have a line, there's nothing to really do. You just know what you're doing in the moment, and then you just do it.
I feel sorry for you because I feel like even if you don't have a line, you should be like, yeah, but I'm like from planet Plasmatron, and I was just beamed here for the day.
Well, see, we get really in depth when we are a more main character, or even just the last play that we did, we were all
you all
important roles. Right. There wasn't any extras, so we had a whole backstory built up. Like they had everything ready for it, but like, teenage girl number 3, I don't think you need a ton of backstory.
Clearly, she had it though, because she was giving it to the screen.
Definitely did. Like.
But now let me ask you this as an actor. Do you learn everybody else's lines in there as well, or do you learn your own lines?
Personally, like I learn a lot of the cue line, or I learn every cue line that I'm supposed to have because that's how my brain recognizes it. But then like after a while, you do start to like, especially if you're practicing it every day, we're not so much in like TV or film because they practice a little bit more by themselves, I think. Mm-hmm. But like for plays, you're practicing all the time, so you will start to pick that up because it's like, oh, that's that person's line. Oh, it's time for this person to come in because yeah.
The MVP of the extras in this movie, you picked him out, Amy.
He's my favorite person in this because I hope that this is more embraced than please don't get angry.
Let me set the scene. I'll set the scene. Bonnie Hunt and Marisa Tomei are having this absolutely unhinged conversation on a walkway at the airport on their way to get on this plane to Italy.
And then there's this, I'm sure they're acting, I'm sure it's not a real mom and son. The son couldn't have been any older than I would say maybe 10, 11, maybe 12 at the most. But he's like my little gay best friend. Like, you could tell he was mouthing every line that Marisa Tomei was saying, and you could tell he's like, "Yep, I know this line, and he's just going along. If you watch his mouth, and you could tell he's trying not to be seen, but he knows every one of her lines, and I'm like, oh, he went on He was in every theater production after that. And then he used that too. He's like, well, I was in a movie with Marisa Tomei. What the fuck were you doing here?
He's like that little kid from The Sixth Sense. I was in a nasal commercial. Okay. Cough syrup, whatever the fuck it was.
Whatever it was. But like, yeah, it's like,
that's you have
no idea. I booked a local, whatever it was, but I was so proud of him. And he's like that redheaded kid.
Terminal velocity.
Terminal velocity. Like, we love these people. Like, I want to go back, take snapshots of each of these extras that we've ever seen and make a painting. We'll commission Jeff to do it.
Yeah.
Just have him put all of our favorite extras in a painting. Because this little kid definitely made it into the pantheon.
Oh, definitely. That kid was
for sure
phenomenal.
Every last
I saw
one
it
of them.
too. I didn't see it first. Then you pointed it out, and I started watching him, and yes.
He was just you could just see his little lips moving, and it's like, oh, sweetheart. I hope somebody gave you a big hug when you got home. Be proud of yourself. Not like that, but like a little kid memorizing everyone's lines. Like, to me,
I mean, good for you, kid.
Well, okay, but
That's
what I need
really
to know...
cute. Like, I bet he was probably just practicing.
Yeah.
Would a small role like that even get a copy of the script?
Well,
it depends on how big the movie is.
I would think because they would still be able to, like, imagine this though, because a lot of this time they're probably having to shoot that scene a few times because they have to get the right take. So if this kid heard it over and over again, he's going to mouth it. He's going to know what they're going to be saying every 5 seconds.
But like, I mean, imagine if they only did it like 5 times and he memorized it from that would be pretty damn cool. Like,
really, I need
really
to know
impressive.
If he went on to be an actor.
Okay, I'm not sure about that, but there is a character that is his title, what they called him in the movie was Airport Passenger, and his name is Eric Rasmussen, and this was his second film. So I don't know. Maybe I might have the wrong guy. I don't know. If Eric, if you're listening, if you were the kid who memorized everything, let us know, because he went on to do a very long career. He last was in a TV show called Manhunt in 2020.
Do we have any pictures? Because I know I could tell you. I know that he was
There's
young.
no pictures,
but I could definitely pick him out in a lineup. I really do. I'm so excited for this young chappie.
We never find them.
We still haven't found Redhead.
No.
It's so hard to find the extras.
But how do you stick out like Redhead? How do you stick out like that and then not have a credit? That's weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also just like, I mean, put everybody's name in there as something. Just
exactly.
I mean, they try on like.
I mean, if you have a really big
IMDb,
movie, you can't do that, but.
I don't think they're trying hard enough. I feel like, you know what? If you're an actor, you need to go over there to IMDb and make sure you get your name on that list, whether you were an extra or not.
That's not
him.
No.
How do you? Are you sure?
No, that's Elijah Wood.
Oh, Elijah Wood. Yeah, this definitely wasn't him.
No, it's definitely Elijah Wood.
I just want to go like rewind the movie and just leave it on pause, and then we just start scouring the internet for this little kid that mouthed Marisa Tomei's lines.
No, this Eric Rasmussen's a black guy. So.
Oh, then it's not the
Sorry.
same. I don't know.
He didn't find you, kid.
He's uncredited, so unfortunate. But there was a great extra in this movie.
It wasn't Timothy Butts?
Whoever Timothy Butts was.
Oh, Timothy Butts.
AKA Man at Party.
The Man at Party. Hey, that's nothing to scoff at, my friend.
He made about as much of an impression as Face Blowing Guy.
Oh.
I've already forgot his name.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Nope.
That's the one.
John David Hinckley.
Sure.
Okay, let's go with that one. No, it's a Hicks. It's Hicks something. Hicks Neal.
Oh.
No, that was from Channel 1.
Time Fop.
Yeah. Okay. So who? Oh no, it was the guy at the hotel.
The guy at the hotel, the Italian hotel director. So there's this late in the movie. She comes rushing in and she's crying and she's telling him that she's trying to get a message. She's sending a telegram to podiatrist guy to break off the wedding, and she tells it to. And this man sees this beautiful crying woman come running to his desk, and he's like, there's a guy over there who is vacuuming, and this man looks over at the vacuuming guy and goes, hey, please, for a moment.
Yep.
She needs my attention. She needs my full attention.
Well, see, and I was really, really drawn to the man that was vacuuming. I know, because the way that he stopped, and you could tell he was genuinely interested in what was happening, even though he didn't understand a thing. An old Italian guy that vacuums, he's probably not going to know much English.
Meanwhile, the other Italian extras were just like the bad extras. Like,
and there were so many bad, we go back to that
the
party.
magical Italian stereotype.
Oh, I love them. The ones at the airport that let her get on that plane.
Oh my God. There's a group of them and they're all
Jesus
conversing.
Christ.
And I'm like, why do 6 people need to be involved in this decision?
All of a sudden, they looked like they were just like, after this was over, they were all just going to go fuck each other.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, the energy they're giving off is just so much polycule.
Well, they were all holding each other's arms.
Exactly.
That's true.
I remember when we got on a plane for each other.
Well, then Sean brought up that whole thing about, this wouldn't happen in an airport. It's like, we have to remember, this is pre 9/11. So you could do it at fuck all in an airport back then. You could do whatever you wanted and it wouldn't fucking matter at all.
Actual crocodile in your purse? Absolutely. Get on the plane.
That's right. That's right. Put a baby in your wallet. Why do you have a baby in your wallet? Well, it's really small. Baby's a little big.
Only 3 grams of crack. I'm
That's
sorry.
it.
The rest has to go.
Oh, don't put it in your wallet. Put it in the baby. You really could do fuck all at the airport. You really could. Back then.
Runs off to Italy.
Yeah.
She's going to try and find Damon Bradley. Bonnie Hunt decides to go with her. Bonnie Hunt's trying to tell Marisa Tomei that she's trying to end it with Larry.
Yeah.
Who is also Marisa Tomei's brother.
Do you mind if I just say this too? So there's a trio of friends. It's Marisa Tomei, it's Bonnie Hunt, and it's Siobhan Fallon. Now, if you know Siobhan Fallon, you know she has carrot red hair. You notice she didn't go to Italy because she would have stuck out like a sore fucking thumb.
Pulling focus the whole way.
She'd be like our little guy from Terminal Velocity, smiling, stealing the scene. Because let's be honest, Siobhan Fallon could do that. So yeah, I just thought
you're the friend who has to stay here.
You're right. Just leave the redhead at home, you fuckers. God.
So while she's looking for Damon Bradley, 45 minutes into the fucking movie, by the way.
Too long to get us some Robert Downey Jr., I'm sorry.
She finally runs into Robert Downey Jr., who immediately starts fondling her feet. Just minutes into meeting her, he's got his hands on her feet because her shoe fell off and he picked it up and ran after her. And then once he figures out the story that she's looking for Damon Bradley, he says, "I'm Damon Bradley," setting up the most boring conventional problem that any movie could have is that she's going to know eventually that he's not Damon Bradley, which comes when he almost has sex with her.
Well, and I think that's what bothered me about this movie because, again, I remember thoroughly enjoying it and going, yep, all of this makes sense. And now I don't know if it's just because my soul is dead. I don't know if it's that. Or, that I don't believe in love and that everything is sad after the age of 40. I don't know if it's that or if this movie's really just bad.
No, it's just bad. Put that other thing aside for a moment. This is an objectively not good movie.
So it's not just my soul being blackened.
No, it's bad.
And okay.
It's achingly conventional. It's incredibly dull. It takes 2 radiant stars and dims them as much as possible to make them live within the boring cliches that need to happen in order for this movie to exist.
Now, can I ask the question? Because for some reason, I thought Norman Jewison was this was an important director to work with.
I mean, he made Moonstruck. He got Sharon Oscar.
Okay. Didn't he do other stuff
that
sure. Also was because his name is one of those directors that I'm like, oh, that was a name that you wanted to work with. That was somebody that you want. And again, Moonstruck, yes, I remember that, but I thought he did other important things. And now it's like, we're watching this movie. It's like, oh, Norm.
What the
fuck?
Why'd you take the day off?
Yeah. Who is the second director? I just want to meet him.
In the Heat of the Night?
Yeah, okay.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh, that's right.
The Hurricane with Denzel Washington.
Okay.
How did he make this movie? I need a nap. I'm going to make this movie.
Yeah. Guys, I'm just going to take a couple months off.
I want to go to Italy. Can somebody just give me a budget and some stars and I'll just, I'll fuck off.
He's just making it for himself.
We'll make a movie and, Billy Zane will be there. It'll be fine.
Billy Zane, you guys.
You want to talk about plot holes. This is a plot hole, right? Billy Zane gets picked, is a friend of Robert Downey Jr. who he hires to pretend to be Damon Bradley so he can keep Marisa Tomei in the country. They go to this place in southern Italy to find him, and he's in a pool, and he emerges from the pool all wet. He's got his medallion on. He's hairy, and he's giving so much Russell Brand.
Yeah, so too much. Thank you.
But do you recall what happens after his identity is revealed?
He just sits there.
His wig comes off.
Oh, right.
How is that a wig? He was in a pool.
Yeah. That's true. And again,
how much effort did this guy, who is not getting paid, by the way, Robert Downey didn't pay him. He asked him for a favor. So this guy thought to himself, his whole thought process behind his character was, I'm going to get a wig.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it such a great wig that I can swim while wearing it. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to wear that wherever I am when I'm with this woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, he's Billy Zane. He's handsome without a wig. He didn't need it.
I have a thing about Billy Zane. He makes me really uncomfortable. I don't know why. Always
Titanic.
Has. He was also in A Murder, She Wrote. One else, but still, there's something about him. But you're probably right. That whole Titanic thing, like, you don't realize that movie had nothing really, like whatever, like no real. But he did. He stayed in my head and terrified me. And so it's now, anytime I see him, that's all I can think about is you're Billy Zane. And not like that, but like everything was dude bro that came out of his mouth in this movie. And I know that was supposed to be on purpose, but it really it gave me heartburn, slight indigestion.
Just grabbing Marisa Tomei's boobs.
Yeah. And you know what, though? That wasn't even the most offensive thing. It was him putting the baby oil on his own pecs.
Oh, God.
Like, that was more offensive to me.
He came out of a pool and put on baby oil. Is that a good idea?
That was the thing.
Is that something people should do?
I don't think so. I don't think anyone should ever do that.
Is that a normal thing? You emerge from a pool and immediately put on baby oil?
It looked like he emerged from the pool with the baby oil, too. That's what's weird.
I think some of it was coming off. I need to add more.
What is the function of baby oil in this context?
Well, because I remember when we go to the pool, our sister, it wasn't like suntan lotion. It was baby oil. And because then the sun would be absorbed by the oil.
Oh, so the kids will set in faster.
That's what we're hoping, right? I don't know. Yeah, that was just a thing. Is it like the pool chemicals dry you out? You need the baby oil? I just felt like he wanted to touch himself. That's where
he does have that strong energy. Like,
he really does. Because as evidence later, where he's touching her unwantedly, and it's like, we didn't want any of that. Again, shut down the nipple. Let's stop with all the nipple play.
About it.
Done with it.
Also, her nipples are hard in that scene where he's grabbing her. Just a light jacket. Somebody get her a light jacket.
Can't do something. Just drape something on her. Here's a curtain. A couple of washcloths. I don't care. Again, I don't want a body shame because, again, gorgeous body.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. It just felt like your nipples were about to attack me.
At a certain point, though, it becomes less erotic and more, I'm concerned that you're just this cold.
Yeah, okay, again, you look a little blue. Somebody get her a light wrap. That's all that's all we're asking for.
That is a concern.
That's right. That's right.
All
She's
the
on
blood,
a cold boat.
Literally, all the blood is rushing to her nipples.
And they're about to explode. Get her a pashmina. Please. Now.
It's not natural for your nipples to be hard as long as they're hard here.
Oh.
She makes an entire boat trip, stays on a boat, watches a fight happen, all the while, and then goes back, is able to return back to the hotel still with hard nipples.
God, maybe she just is just perpetual nipple hardness, which could be a thing. And you might want to talk to your doctor.
I'm saying she might want to get this looked at.
Is that like priapism? Is that not the same thing? Right?
Nipple priapism? I don't know.
Well, this is how we cancel ourselves every week. I'm sorry.
I'm not nipple shaming.
I no, absolutely not. And again, everybody's fabulous.
And if that's your kink, this movie's for you.
Yeah.
That and feet.
But yeah, this movie is strictly about feet and nipples. And Fuzzy and I renamed it Only Shoe. So the end.
She literally, Marisa Tomei literally goes from a podiatrist to a shoe salesman.
That's right.
In her romantic arc.
Like the whole thing is strictly about feet.
There is a part where he's looking at people going across, looking at models and shoes.
Yeah.
That's because that's his job.
That's his job.
Yeah, and it's like, you really put you had to put those two. Dan Schneider, come on.
He was consultant on this film, and none of us knew that. What bothered me, and again, I love Robert Downey Jr. Nothing he could do would upset me. I just adore the man. But there is a scene, like, it's at the end, and they're at the airport, and he's in line to go back to Boston. He drops something. He leans down. He sees these Spanish suede shoes on this woman, literally picks up the hem of her dress to look at them. If that were, I would have kicked the fuck out of it.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Do not put your hands on me, stranger.
What is happening?
Yeah. And you're literally...
He's so casual about it. Like,
and she was really okay with it for some reason.
Like, yeah. I'd like $30 off, please.
Yeah, he's making this big deal in line. You know, how much did you pay? $80. I got a great deal. Oh, I can do it better. And he gives her a card. Like now she's going to go buy $40 shoes from you? Great job.
It's wild.
You've made a big sale there, partner.
And again, you know, like back then when I first saw it, I thought, yeah, this makes sense. Now it's like, I don't really know what your job is.
No. What is it
just shoes? Or is it...
Does he make shoes? Does he...
He acquires and sells shoes.
Right.
Acquires and sells.
Wait, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
He, like the thing, he went to Italy specifically because his boss couldn't go.
Mm-hmm.
And his job was to go to places and acquire shoes to bring back to Boston to sell to people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he's also a salesman in the shoe store who will help people pick out expensive shoes. I
have an idea to change the film completely in a way, keeping his character.
He sells bras.
No, because I like the shoe idea. I just think that we should change it to more of a time travel thing where it's him. He plays a guy named Peter. He's also a time traveler and he goes back in time and he's a cobbler. So he makes shoes. So he travels throughout time, meeting different women all through the love of shoes. It's called Only Shoe. What do you think?
How about this?
He's a cobbler.
How about this? Time Fop 2, Only Shoe.
Oh, that's like Electric Boogaloo. I see what you did there. I like that. And actually,
Yes, and.
Robert Downey Jr. could have been a fop.
He can pull that off.
He could totally do the fop.
I could see it. I could see it.
I mean, him in Sherlock, it's kind of foppish in that, you know,
it's very fun.
Dropping his handkerchief. I'm sorry. But yeah,
this is intriguing, whatever that is.
Yeah. I just wish there were more movies about cobblers.
Time Fop's a runner. You guys are just gonna have to get used to.
That's it. It's gonna last well into 1995 at this rate.
I mean, 94 is gonna have to give us something else to talk about at some point.
Somebody already said, who is it? Somebody said to me, they're like, well, you did, but you didn't do. Wait, no, we did True Romance, didn't we?
Yeah.
We didn't do Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis. We didn't do
Natural Born Killers. Yeah.
And then we didn't do, we didn't do Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction hasn't happened yet. It hasn't
happened yet. Okay, so they're like, well, you guys are just picking all the wrong movies. And I'm like, well, I mean, if we picked all the right ones,
we wouldn't have much to talk about.
And not only that, but then somebody else pointed out that we didn't do Ready to Wear. And I thought that was funny because no one remembers that movie.
Yeah, no, it was on the list, but I didn't even give it a second.
I wish we would have, because that's another like one of those that like Gary Marshall should have made that movie.
Oh, you know what God. I mean?
All the stars that are in that movie.
Ugh.
So I kind of wish we would have done that one. But it's not like we're not intentionally picking out bad movies. We're trying to either have like, hey, I kind of remember this being a good one, or hey, none of us saw this one, or this one was a big one at the box office. Or
literally just, I mean, I go through the list. You tell me, I mean, what else? What we picked The Scout last week. The pickings are thin.
They're very thin.
All right? It was this or reach back for the next Karate Kid, which we keep putting. It's like Matt Damon on Jimmy Kimmel. We just keep kicking that one down the road. Like, I'm sorry. I've got a full list here if you want to take a look at it and tell me what I'm missing. Because this is like, every week there's just nothing to pick.
That's true. And then beyond
like, literally, there's nothing to pick this week. We had to pick this one from the next week and pull it forward.
Oh, so we kind of cheated. See what we do for our listeners, you assholes.
But by the time it actually goes online, because Bob's scheduled, that it will be on time.
That's
so
true.
You guys will never know that. I can edit that out and you'd never know.
Well, then you'd have to think about this, though, too, is that when films come out, we're talking about box office seasons. So, like, summer would have had a lot of the bigger, more important movies. We're getting ready to go into Christmas here. So that's going to be, like, these holiday Hollywood blockbusters. You don't like those?
I hate Christmas movies. I hate
movies. It won't have to be Christmas movies.
Okay. I hate any kind of holiday-involved movie. I don't like it.
But there's a season, what I'm talking about is it's just that's the holiday season where they drop the big film. You know, like it's a Hollywood blockbuster. It has nothing to do with the film or with the holiday.
Okay.
It's just the season to drop the film.
I mean, be real. We're not going to talk about Philadelphia on this show.
We already talked about that.
We're not
talked about how we're not going to because of the subject matter. That's just it.
Like the piano. Like, we don't need to watch the piano. Harvey Keitel's dick is the star of Piano. That's all we would be talking about.
That's probably kind of true, but I love the piano. But yeah, right.
Think of the show you're listening to. But like, we watched Reality Bites. We watched 8 Seconds. Like...
We did watch 8 Seconds.
The Chase is not available, so we couldn't have that. We were missing some Charlie Sheen, unfortunately. But
I think that worked out for all of us.
Like, should we have picked Monkey Trouble? Are you upset that we didn't do Monkey Trouble? Strawman audience member?
Are you so angry at Strawman?
We watched Clifford, damn it.
We barely got out of Clifford alive.
It sucks.
Jesus.
Okay, fine. We didn't watch With Honors. Maybe that's a good movie. Maybe.
No, but we did watch... What was that one with the girl and the 2 guys?
Threesome.
Baldwin. We did watch Threesome.
We didn't watch... we didn't watch Crooklyn. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right. But again, there's some things that's like, okay... I don't know if we feel qualified enough to comment on it, too. It's like we can say what a great movie is, but like to have that experience, that's where, you know.
I don't care if Maverick's a good movie. I don't want to look at Mel Gibson's stupid face.
I can still see it in my head, though.
And yes, we missed Blown Away, okay? We missed Blown Away.
I'm sorry. You're stupid because I wanted to watch Blown Away and no one else did. And it's a fantastic movie.
And we chose I Love Trouble.
You chose I Love Trouble because I kept saying Blown Away. What, Blown Away? Blown Away?
I wanted to watch True Lies, but, you know, whatever. Fine.
Yeah, but it was like 100 hours long. And Fuzzy and I had things to do later on that day, like sit here and watch more Flash. We didn't want to do stuff like that.
Watch North.
We did. North. Look, we all watched North. We did that for you fucking listeners.
No, I'm sorry. We didn't watch Clear and Present Danger, okay? Okay, we didn't.
But we didn't want to, right?
That's right, because we had to watch Color of Night and Blank Man.
Color of Night.
Color of Night.
Milk Money.
Milk Money.
You missed out.
I missed on that one.
Did you, though? Did you?
We had to watch A Good Man in Africa, our lost episode.
Why is that a...
Because I can't find it.
Are you fucking serious?
Really?
Dude, that was one of the funniest... No one will ever hear how fucking funny that was.
I know, I'm sorry.
You lost A Good Man in Africa.
It might be somewhere. I might still be able to find it.
Wow. That's the shittiest thing you could have told us today. You know who wouldn't have lost A Good Man in Africa?
A Good Man in Africa?
And that. God, I don't even remember the star's name of that movie.
Sean Connery?
That's right. He was the only one that was in it.
The other guy had a super punchable face.
Something. Yeah. That really British, awful guy.
Yeah.
I hated that guy.
I can't believe you lost that. That was so much fun to record, and now it's gone.
I wouldn't say it might not be gone. I might still be able to recover it.
Well, our lost episode.
Imagine you find it like in a couple of years and you're just like, oh, hey, I'll put this on here now.
Guys,
that's actually what I want to do.
Are you serious?
Yes. I'll just keep it lost for a little while and then
you guys be found
it'll reveal itself at some point.
Weird. I'm just looking at reveal. That's wild.
So Robert Downey Jr. under false pretenses convinces Marisa Tomei that he is the guy. What's the name?
Damon Bradley.
Damon Bradley. And almost sleeps with her, then tells her that he's not Damon Bradley because he's fallen in love with her.
But again, that's not how love works.
No, it's not.
He's fallen in love with somebody that fast. Odds are you're a sociopath.
How do people, no, it's only, please tell me that's only in movies.
It's only in movies. And
because that cannot work. You cannot fall in love with somebody. You can't, I don't know how people can like people in a day, but like, takes me a good couple weeks to even like a person.
That's true.
This could just be like a male privilege thing, like just being from this is coming from a very male perspective.
Right.
I have fallen in love at first sight.
No.
Yes, it happened.
Whoa. That doesn't seem real though.
Okay.
Been my best friend for 20 years.
Oh.
We're not together romantically, but she has been my best friend for 20 years.
Okay.
Yes, the first time we met on New Year's Eve 20 years ago, 2004, she walked up to me as I'm leaving, and she said to me, I had a MoveOn.org sticker on my jacket.
I remember, yeah.
And she said to me, and she didn't know what that was, but she said, "You're not a Republican, are you?" And I'm like, "I want to marry you." I didn't say that. That was in my head.
Right. No, it's funny that you said that because, it's Nate, my friend Nate. He worked at Whitey's, the ice cream shop, 2 stores down from where I worked at Disc Jockey. And I saw him, and he looked just like, or he at least reminded me of Joel from Mystery Science Theater, who I had a huge crush on. And I'm like, he looks like a young Joel. So every time I'd walk by Whitey's, I'd be like, oh, there's young Joel. And then eventually one of his good friends started working at Disc Jockey, and Nate was looking for a job. And I'm like, oh, I'll hire him today. Just have him come down and fill out an application. And he was hired that day.
Amy confessing to sexual harassment.
It was. I never. What, hiring somebody because they're cute?
Now pretend you're a man.
Hiring oh, I'm sorry. You guys do that all the time.
Exactly.
I did it once. And not like that, but like we never got together, like ever. Except for that time we played Truth or Dare.
Oh dear. Okay, so Robert Downey Jr.
That was fun though. It was fun. It was just a kiss. I'm gonna go sit in the other room and think. Just kidding. No. Anyway,
they touched feet.
Ew. Look, I liked him, but not that much.
I had to bring it back around in the movie.
People and their feet. God, feet are the nipples of the soul. I want you to think about that for a minute. That's going on a merch t-shirt. Oh my God.
That's going in a confession to MJ's therapist.
And my aunt said, feet are the nipples of the soul.
I'm going to be speaking with her about that on Wednesday.
Would you like to write it down?
Yeah. Oh, hey. Back to the movie.
Yes.
Marisa Tomei did have a line in this movie that kind of threw it back to the movie about the baboon heart. What was the movie called?
Untamed Heart.
Untamed Heart. But
I so wanted that twist in this movie that Robert Downey Jr. had a baboon heart.
Sean, I think we were all hoping for that. But she did she was talking to Bonnie Hunt's character because Bonnie Hunt's character is basically saying, my husband, your brother, is an asshole, and I'm not in love with him, and I hate him, and I just want this all to be over. And then she's like, yeah, but you know what? I know he would kill tigers for you. What the fuck does that even mean? Like just point at a tiger that far. I don't want it here anymore. What the fuck?
Their entire romance is based on the time that they were 12 years old, and she fell during a game of where you touch the colors, Twisters.
Twister,
and she fell, and he gave up winning the game so he could catch her.
Oh, yeah.
Then they spent the rest of their lives together because of that.
I don't know if that's something to base a relationship off of.
A strong foundation, guys. What are you talking about?
You guys, I gotta go out and buy some boxes of Twister, and we're just gonna go out to parties and just random places and just go, hey, do you mind playing this with me real quick? And just see who would kill a tiger for me. That's all I want to know.
The first man who catches me during a Twister game is the man for me.
Aww. That's not real.
And you call it twistered love.
It's twisted.
It's the joke.
Oh, everything hurts. You there. Kill that one. I don't like that tiger.
Prove that you love me.
It's time pop. You there.
That's how time pop 2. Only shoe comes to an end.
You killed that tiger.
Prove that you love me.
He gave me a dirty look. He stole my tea. Kill that one.
Oh, the berries and cream. Berries and cream. But I was telling you that berries and cream. But I love you. Berries and cream.
You there, get that tiger to kill the berries and cream boy. Then kill that tiger. He smells like raspberries. Only you. I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be a better movie, but I made you both sit through it. But, well, I'll say not all of us got out our electronics. We actually did watch the movie a little bit.
Yeah.
So, which says something. But usually Robert Downey Jr. will do that to a person. You almost have to put your stuff down just to see what he's doing.
But go ahead.
It could have been better if they had just left out some of the annoying tropes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Then it would have been good, actually.
And I know this didn't exist at the time. It's because it's a different time, but
what's a different time?
Robert Downey Jr. goes full nice guy after she lets it. She breaks up with him over the whole because he literally hired someone to pretend to be Damon Bradley, so he's gaslighting her for a second time.
Yep.
The second time he gaslights her, she's like, "I'm done. I'm leaving. Don't talk to me anymore." Mm-hmm. And he goes full fucking nice guy, just like you.
I would have done this. I
would have done anything for you.
It honestly just seems so out of character and weirdly. Yes. Because he didn't seem like that at the beginning.
No. He wasn't like that at all.
And then all of a sudden, he's planned this entire thing. I don't think so. I don't think that was if they would, I wish they would have just left that trope out. That would have made it 10 times better.
That's why I saw you kind of recoil.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, if you had just left that part of the trope out, been like, oh, well, she realized that she liked the guy that she met.
Right.
More than this fantasy version of whatever that was.
Mm-hmm.
And she realizes that reality is better and then goes with him. That would have been infinitely better than, oh, I hired this guy to make you hate him so that you would go find me.
This is what I hate about movies is this thing when something feels, when you could obviously, it takes you out of the movie because you can tell that the filmmakers have included this scene or this aspect solely to get to the next thing that they want to do. Not because it's an organic part of the story being told. We need this in order to get to where we're going.
Right.
Yeah.
That's functional and it's not immersive. It's going to knock me right out of the movie when you do stuff like that.
Well, that's okay. And not only that, but watching that bit of the film made me feel so uncomfortable, and as he's screaming at her on the way, and I kept waiting for her to go, "I love you, you dumb bitch!" Like I was waiting for that kind of nice guy,
because it was literally right there.
It was right there,
it was on the borderline if that was what he was saying next.
And if you've ever been in a situation like that, I have. Like, you get anxiety seeing shit like that. You just can't.
I love Robert Downey Jr. I don't think that he really played it off like he was meaning that, though.
No.
Just to be honest. Right. I think that's for a reason, because, like, he didn't feel it for the character, so it didn't come across. Because, honestly, it didn't feel real when he was doing that. Like, it felt so forced and just, like, shoehorned in.
Perfectly, like, we need that dumb little scene. We didn't need any of that. Any of it.
No.
So, have you seen Roman Holiday?
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
They do the mouth of truth thing in this movie, which is, people remember it from Roman Holiday. Did it look a little strange to you, though? Did it? Because it looked nothing like it looked in Roman Holiday.
All I could think is I just wanted to play The Sims, because that was in Sims 1 and Sims 2. You could put your hand in one of those. Vacation. It's awesome.
In Roman Holiday, it's in a little bit of it's inside of not a cave, but it's got its own little room.
Well, that's what it looked like they walked into.
No, they were still outdoors.
No.
And the reason for that is, and this is from the IMDb trivia, so people don't think I made this up myself.
You did.
And I'm giving credit to IMDb trivia, so I'm not stealing this.
Yeah, we are.
The actual mouth of truth had been blown up in a terrorist attack a year earlier. So the production designer had to make their own mouth of truth.
Oh, so I mean, technically, it's not really going to work because it's a replica. I guess the first one probably wasn't real either, right?
Well, that is a real thing in Italy. You could go and do, yes.
Yeah, but like, is it really going to take your hand off?
No, of course not. That's the joke.
Well, I don't think that's funny. Why would you put your hand in something where you can't see what's happening on the other side? Unless it's a glory hole.
Oh!
Don't stick your dick in the mouth of truth.
There's a guy named Sergio on the other side.
Sergio's like, that'll be five lira. God.
I think it's a snake.
Oh! Although, little cleaner than the men's bathroom at the Travelers. So, I mean, what do you want? The glory hole of truth.
Oh, God. That's how you know it's true love. If you stick your dick through the hole and you get it back, that's true love.
We can't have a nice podcast, can we? One of us has to say something, and it's usually me that's going to ruin it.
I mean, you said glory hole, I just yes and.
Somebody finally did that for me. I need that. Yeah, so whatever. What's next week?
Wait, I just have to note, did you know Dwayne's last name in the movie?
Whiteman.
Johnson.
Of course it is. No offense to your mother. But it should have been Smith.
You know who was initially cast before Marisa Tomei? Again, from the IMDb trivia. I'm not stealing it. I'm quoting it.
Yeah, and Fuzzy and I don't do any research on any of these movies, so no.
Bridget Fonda.
Oh, oddly enough.
Who would have had the same nipple problem.
That's
she would
true.
have. Same body type.
But you know what they should have done? Then you have Bill Pullman in the movie, too, and then you have them together, because I think her and Bill Pullman would have had a good thing. It's just me. After Singles, they never got a better scene, and they deserved a better scene.
Oh.
That's just me. Oh. But yeah, okay, fine. But I don't see that. I don't see that as a, like, these two firecracker actors should have made this movie better.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out that way.
I mean, you put look at one scene of Marisa Tomei and Robert Downey Jr. together in Spider-Man and tell me that's not better than everything in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I want to go back and watch that.
The sparks between Aunt May and Iron Man. Come on now. That was real. That was some seriously good stuff. Compared to this is nothing.
Yeah, they could have had their own movie. Like, I would watch that. It's a movie about Iron Man and Aunt May. Yeah.
Fuck off, Pepper Potts.
Yeah, right?
It's not the comics, but they really make it work.
That's fine. I'll take it.
Fans are...
I'm tired of hearing about Goop anyway.
The Aunt May from her solo comic, it totally would have went for Iron Man.
Yeah.
She was horny. Very horny. I can't remember what it's called. I only know of it from Linkara, talking about how terrible it is. It's like an Aunt May and how she met Uncle Ben at a summer camp.
Yeah.
And it's like just super horny and there's no superhero shit at all.
Uncle Ben.
Well, that's interesting.
The Rice Guy?
That's a real comic.
With Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
The Rice Guy.
No, Uncle Ben. His name is Ben, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Peter's uncle.
Oh.
The guy who murders and tells him it gets murdered. And
would have been funnier with the Rice Guy.
He gets murdered and he says that with great power comes great responsibility.
That was him? I thought.
That's Uncle Ben.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Uncle Ben.
Oh.
It's either Cliff Robertson or Martin Sheen, depending on your universe.
Okay, but Luke Skywalker also had an Uncle Ben, right?
Yeah.
Not the Rice Guy.
No, Ben Kenobi was not his uncle.
Oh. Well, then who was his uncle?
Aunt Beru and Uncle... It was Beru and... I'm a bad Star Wars fan.
Oh my God, no one's going to talk to you anymore.
I know, Jeff's leaving the podcast now as we speak.
He puts in his 2 weeks. So, wait a second.
You said on that podcast.
I'm not getting paid. Why am I putting in my 2 weeks? Just because Amy had to ask who the uncles were. What of uncles?
It's right there on the tip of my tongue. I guess it's not.
Okay, I'm just going to look it up because it's going to bother me.
I know Aunt Beru.
Well, but still.
We got to bring Luke in from the harvest.
Is that all you remember from that?
It's actually a line from from Phaelus.
Are you serious? Oh my God.
in the video for Food Fight.
Aunt Beru.
Star Wars fans are just melting down right now. Like
Owen.
Uncle Owen, thank you.
Owen.
Star Wars fans are melting down right
They're
now.
just like, if you guys don't even invoke it, if you're not going to.
Why are you even talking? Exactly. You don't even know anything about Star Wars. Like, what was the name of the star Luke was looking at that night? What do you think? What was it, huh?
Charlie Sheen.
I bet you don't even know what planet he was on. No, I fucking don't.
Tatooine? No, not Tatooine. Yeah, was it Tatooine? No.
Probably Tatooine.
I don't know. There's a lot of things about parsecs.
And then he stayed at a Howard Johnson's and, he met his cousin Yoda.
That was my favorite part. You know, the Hojos, they don't make them like that anymore, though.
Yoda.
Swampy.
Did you know that Yoda was the original template for Balky, cousin Balky? That's where they got it.
I want that to be real. Because that's the funniest trivia.
6 degrees of Balky, I'll tell you.
That's impossible.
No, I was thinking 6 degrees because I bet there's a 6 degrees from Dan Schneider to Robert Downey Jr. I bet there is.
Oh, I hate that. Do I have 6 degrees to Dan Schneider?
I don't know. Probably not. What celebrities have you met?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
But probably none that would have anything to do with him. Would Vince Gill have 6 degrees?
But Kenan Thompson worked with Dan Schneider. And if Kenan Thompson worked with him and you work with Kenan Thompson and he's worked with a lot of people, he would be your degree to Dan Schneider.
I don't really know if I want one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who I'd like 6 degrees to, but
was Kenan Thompson on Bob's Burgers at all?
Nope.
No.
No. Oh, thank God. Ugh.
Because then you'd have a degree.
Oh, but Paul Rudd was on Bob's Burgers, and Paul Rudd was on SNL how many times? And worked with Kenan. Oh,
yeah, there you go.
That's our link.
It's less than 6 degrees, too.
Oh, no. God. Are we okay?
And Paul Rudd was in the movie with Robert Downey Jr., so...
Oh, wow.
I told you there were 6 degrees to Dan Schneider. It's less than that, actually. It was only 2.
That hurts. My brain and everything else. What are we watching next week?
Oh, I don't know.
That's how I know how much time we have left. I'll ask that question and Sean will say, we have 45 minutes left.
Would you like Quiz Show or Ed Wood?
Oh, they're both good. Well, but I've said that about only shows.
I love Quiz Show. Quiz Show is a generally good movie. I wrote about that not all that long ago. I think we might have done it as a classic on the other podcast. So
I loved Ed Wood. I would really, but then again, we've got the whole Depp thing. There's so many great people in that movie. What do we think? Fuzzy, you're the tiebreaker. Quiz Show or Ed Wood?
So Ed Quiz Show is about the quiz show scandal of 1954. A guy went on a quiz show. They fixed it so he could win because he was handsome and good looking and intelligent. So they fixed it so he could win. And then they found out that it was fixed and the government investigated it and they canceled the show. And the guy had to basically he was just vilified.
Yeah. And then you have Ed Wood, which is kind of like, Ed Wood was a filmmaker.
He made Glenn or Glenda.
Made lots of classic. And
Plan 9 from Outer Space, that was him.
He had just a stable of actors that...
The cast in this movie is like Johnny Depp, Bill Murray.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Martin Landau won an Oscar for it.
It's fun, it's campy, it's also kind of sad. But it tells the story of Ed Wood and just kind of how he came to make the stuff he was making. I would prefer that
Ed Wood is a perfect example of someone who is completely non-binary. Like, you have no idea what he was really about. Like, he made a movie called Glenn or Glenda, which is the first movie about a man who likes to dress up in women's clothes.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Yeah. So, I don't know. I vote Ed Wood. That's for me.
Sure.
So fine, you win. We'll watch maybe a good movie next week.
Oh, don't say that. Because every time we say that, it's like, this is not how
we're just going to end up making jokes about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Oh, well, like I said, we cancel ourselves every week. That one, kill that one there. He said I look funny.
With his eyes.
With his eyes. You said you don't like my wristwatch. Kill that one. Kill a tiger. I'd kill tigers for you.
He would kill tigers for you.
Oh, God.
Wait until I meet somebody that'll kill tigers for me.
You say you'll kill tigers for me?
Prove it. That one.
He didn't like the cut of my jib.